Welcome to this episode of Norwich Theatre Talks. My guest today is one of the biggest rising stars in the world of musical theatre. Having graduated from ArtsEd just in 2023, he's since gone on to play the role of Tin Man in Wizard of Oz, to play Danny Zuko in Grease, and now playing the title role on tour as Alexander Hamilton in Hamilton, coming to Norwich this autumn. Please welcome to Norwich Theatre Talks, Marley Fenton. So, Marley, you're 6 months into playing the role of Alexander Hamilton. You're out on tour, you're in sunny Sunderland. How's it going? How are you loving it?
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, this show is so huge that the audiences it draws in are just amazing. You know, they're always clapping and laughing and just whooping at the appropriate times and just, you know, making it so much easier for us on stage to have a good time. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I mean, it's a mammoth of a show and, you know, it's a lot of hard work, but yeah, it's definitely the best thing I've ever done and I'm just enjoying it so much and I'm excited for the rest of the tour, yeah.
Amazing. We'll come back to kind of where this is in your career, because that's an amazing story so far. But just a little bit about the show. So for those that might kind of think, I've heard of Hamilton, you know, it's an iconic show, but like for traditional musical theatre audiences, it's a little bit different. Some people might not know the story so well. What would you say to those people that are thinking about giving it a go?
I mean, I would definitely just say buy your ticket because you won't be disappointed. I mean, even me, like when I first heard about the story, you know, the fact that it's about Alexander Hamilton, who a lot of people in, you know, the UK wouldn't really know who that is. But you know, about one of the founding fathers of the United States and how he came from the Caribbean into America and how he fought in the war and then became the Treasury Secretary of State, which you know, might sound a bit, you know, dreary and boring, but then when you add the music in and you add the style, the contemporary and modern style of the show, the costumes, the set, as soon as everything comes together, it's just this, you know, global phenomenon. And like, I'm so grateful to be able to do this show, and it's such a big moment for me. I'm so sorry. Come in.
You can tell this is live, people.
Sorry, I'm on an interview. It's mine, man. No, it's all good. You're all good, but I've got everything. Thank you.
It's nice to see you being looked after there.
We are always.
Be better in Norwich, though, we promise.
Yes, definitely. I love that. But yeah, as I was saying, like, it's just, it's one of them where you might hear about it or, you know, see a few things and think, oh, maybe this isn't up my street, but I mean, I guarantee you'll have a great time in the theatre and, you know, it wouldn't be as big as it is, you know, if it wasn't the show that it is. So, yeah, it's definitely one to book your tickets for. And, yeah, they're selling quick. So I imagine you got to get on that website.
And it is an amazing story. And a lot of that is on you, isn't it? It's quite, because there's so much dialogue that you guys have to kind of get out there and through rap, you know, it's quite intense for you, isn't it? A lot of heavy lifting.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's so nice for me that, like, you know, when you train in musical theatre, you don't really train in that kind of vocal type. So, you know, for someone who's kind of grown up listening to that type of music, you know, your hip hop, your jazz, your soul, that, you know, it's a nice moment for me to be able to put that into my profession and into my, you know, work that wouldn't usually, you know, lend itself to that type of music. So it's really cool and it's revolutionary, you know, the show itself, you know, for the people who are doing it. And now I was having a conversation with a few people in the cast, and it's so nice that now the people who are doing Hamilton are the people who have known about it for a while. You know, the first few people who were able to do the show, you know, they were just learning about it and it was only just a thing. But now it's been around for 10 plus years. It's like, you know, the people who are getting to do it, like me, I was listening to it in my bedroom at 17, that now I'm able to come and do it. It's a huge moment. So yeah, it's definitely very cool.
That's amazing, isn't it? And we at Norwich, we were lucky enough to have former Alexander Hamilton Nelpanto a couple of years ago.
Oh, amazing.
We've now got a few kind of those who've gone before doing it. Did you take any tips from people that have done the role before?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I actually saw Carl do it in the West End, and then I also saw Shaq, who did it on the tour before me, which was, you know, really, really cool to get those, you know, different interpretations as well as, you know, Disney Plus and things like that. But I think what you kind of have to remember is, like, it's all there on the page ready to go, and I think it's written so amazingly that if you're able to put your own, you know, twist onto that, it's always going to have that edge because the music is so well written anyway. So I think as soon as you add your own flair to it and your own physicality, that's kind of how the role, comes to be a thing. And it's so amazing to be able to be a part of this legacy, of Lin Manuel, and how amazing he did with the role, and then to be able to see other people in this country do it. Yeah, it's definitely very cool that I'm one of those people that are kind of passing the torch along. Yeah.
And there's always this kind of like question over historic stories like this, biographical stories that can feel a bit like remote from people. It's a historical story. Who was Alexander Hamilton? It was hundreds of years ago. Actually, he's a rounded character. He's kind of just as flawed as the rest of us. And, the challenges that he goes through, okay, doing something extraordinary, founding a country, we kind of see that played out now, don't we? It's relevant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think what's nice about Hamilton is that, like, it's called Hamilton, and we know that Hamilton is, the main character of the show, but it goes through the ups and downs of his life, and it doesn't always show him in the best light. And it's about that kind of parallel relationship with Burr and how they intertwine and then go up, drift from each other and things like that. That it's really quite relatable in a world in which you would never think you would be able to relate to it. So yeah, it's a great point, because that is exactly what Hamilton is, and you see his flaws, and you see the times he makes mistakes, or says the wrong thing or does the wrong thing. Which is why it's not just about glorifying Hamilton. It's about understanding the story from across the pond. And we're not Americans who get taught about this in their schools, so it's really cool to have a musical like this that is traveling the world, that can really educate people on American history. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move from Hamilton to you now, because I mean your career so far. I mean, it's incredible what you've achieved, Molly. I take my hat off to you. I mean, it must have been amazing to kind of get this role, and but what a period of time you've had. How I mean, it's quite meteoric. And how are you feeling at the moment about this? Because there's a sense of overwhelm possibly as well, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been so lucky, and I'm so grateful for the kind of journey that I've been on since I graduated. And I think the biggest thing for me is that I'm just kind of taking it in my stride and being able to just kind of keep moving, because I think with this industry, sorry, the thing's going off. But with this industry, it's so easy to kind of get caught up in like what's next and like how you move forward. But I think for me, it's more about enjoying the moment and kind of not wishing it away, because at one point in my life, I would only have dreamed of being at this point. So I think it's easy to get caught up in that. Oh, what's auditioning, or like what's am I going to have work in the next few months? Pardon me, but I think the biggest thing for me is just enjoying the moment, and not wishing it away, and you know really having that understanding that yes, I might be out of work for a few months in the future, but at least I've had this really amazing time on a musical that I've loved so much for so many years. And like I say, I'm really grateful for the stuff that I've done, and it's really built me up as an actor and really helped me in understanding the industry whilst understanding the craft a bit more. And going through training and going straight into shows like I've done has really helped me understand kind of who I am as an actor and how I approach a role. So I'm definitely enjoying my journey, and yeah, I hope that it continues the way that it has done.
That's so inspiring for lots of people, isn't it? To see that you can do it if you kind of take that step, and your kind of commitment, and like a role like Hamilton, that's a lot of discipline, isn't it? And also, I was reading, you're from Salford originally. I worked for 10 years in Salford.
Oh, nice. I'm actually from Manchester, but I did go to college in Salford. But yeah.
But also, if you're not around London, and that you do have to work a bit harder. You have to be prepared to commit. But actually now, you're back out on the road. You're not scared of touring. I think that's really inspiring for young people. What do you kind of say to people? Because we have lots of young people who listen to this podcast about trying to get into the industry.
Honestly, just stick at it, because the biggest thing for me was that sometimes you'd look at people who had maybe been dancing since they were three, or had extensive kind of intense training, that you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone else, and you're on your own journey. And I think for me it was big that, like, it's not about whether I'm the best at something. It's just about how much work you put into it. So you can look around and think, people are better than you, but let that drive you to do more and to just get involved with more. And I was kind of just, always just self-taping and always just singing songs and always just doing things to keep yourself active. That then if things do come around, you've got a little self-tape there that you can just send off straight away, or like, things like that. That like if you just get involved with as much as possible, around your local area and things like that, then you're always working and your mind's always active. So yeah, I think they'd be the biggest things. Just stick at it and make sure you're not comparing yourself to anyone, understanding that you're on your own journey whilst also, you know, striving to do as much as you can and just keep yourself busy, because that's how you learn. You can only learn so much by sitting at home and watching people do things. You've got to be on your feet and you've got to keep it moving. So yeah, that's definitely what I'd say.
Amazing. And one last thing that I've noticed as well is you've got a film that you're in coming out
Yeah.
later this year. That's quite exciting.
Oh yeah, very.
Okay, aren't we? It's Wicked Part 2. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how was that? I mean, that's like anybody's dream, just to be on that set with all of that going on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I mean, we'll see how much I'm in it. I mean, I didn't do that long on it. I did about 3 days on it in the start of last year, which was really, really cool. And I mean, for me, for the first time on a movie set, a big movie set like that as well, and kind of just brushing shoulders with some absolutely amazing people. Yeah, it was truly a moment for me. But yeah, it's definitely exciting, and I'm intrigued for it to come out. But I think just the learning fact of being there and seeing how it works, and seeing everyone do their job in such a professional way and in such a Hollywood type way. It was very, very cool for me. And yeah, I'm just excited to see the finished product.
I can see you as a Fiero on Broadway at some point.
That we'll see. We'll see.
It's been so good chatting to you, Marley. There's one last thing that we do with all of our podcast guests is
Yeah.
this random pot of questions. So this
Oh,
is
nice.
Theatre Talks. It's all about talking, and we've thrown in a few specific to you. So I'm going to choose one at random and ask it to you if that's all right.
Yes, of course.
Okay, here we go. So, if you could have a conversation with Alexander Hamilton today, what would you ask him?
I would ask if he knew, I mean, spoiler, but if he knew Burr was going to shoot when he raised his gun to the sky, because it's a big question amongst Hamilton fans and stuff, whether he knew and whether he thought Burr wasn't going to shoot or wasn't going to shoot on target. But I think it was maybe a bit of a suicide mission, yeah.
Very good, very good. Look, Marley, it's been amazing to chat to you.
And you, thank you so much for having me.
We can't wait to have Hamilton in Norwich in the autumn.
Sounds good. Book your tickets. Thank you so much.
And well, that's a wrap on season 3 of Norwich Theatre Talks. Thank you so much for your support. It really encourages us. We'll be back with another season in the autumn, so tune in again then.